to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica that life is more important than party. And Jamaica is more important than party politics. In America, partisan politics is literally destroying the country. So even though we disagree, that disagreement should never allow us to take the life of another human being simply because they are a member of a different party.
Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tim Tesi. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, and also comment. So guys, I want us to watch and listen this message from Farrakhan. He has a message to Jamaicans, and then I will come back with more reaction.
Mr. Farrakhan, who was a key player in the organisation of America's Million Man March in October of 1995, said Jamaican politics should be about more than just political tribalism and thuggery.
So now if I got a yellow shirt or a green shirt, does that mean that it has deprived me of my humanity? So we've got to outgrow these immature expressions of our differences. Jamaican politics must never degenerate into thuggishness. Politics is a means to an end, and the end should always be for the good of the island of Jamaica and all its people.
But in a bleak warning to Jamaica, Minister Farrakhan warned of a revolution by the people unless government acted quickly to rectify Jamaica's debt problem.
There's a bitter pill that Jamaica has to swallow because of the debt of $216 billion and the slowdown in the economy. So let us hope and let us pray that we will be able to ease the pain through good politics, but at the same time, if we don't move quickly, the masses will rise in Jamaica, just like they're doing all over the world. And what I would hate to see is that a well-armed army and police force will shoot down those in the street.
In Jamaica, I'm skipping, they tried in 1976 to organize a military coup to overthrow Michael Manley. In 1976, they supported attempts to assassinate Michael Manley on 3 different occasions. The little man who led Jamaica, who spoke at Savior's Day, was such a threat to our government that they attempted 3 times to assassinate the man in 1976. So later, they found a way to get rid of him through riots in the street over food when they cut off assistance to Jamaica.
It's beautiful. You got one of the most beautiful anthems in the world. And you got a seat in the United Nations. Big up for you. But independence, you don't have that yet. Independence, you don't have that yet.
My father, my mother told me, because I really never met the man, was a Jamaican, very handsome. So he was a handsome Jamaican. And he had light skin and what they call good hair. Lord help us. Hair has now a moral quality attached to it. But she told me that my grandfather, his father, was Portuguese. So I said, Portuguese? Then as I matured, I saw that in the Inquisitions in Spain and Portugal, many members of the Jewish people who had mastered in Europe the sugarcane industry in Spain, they had become great, we call it entrepreneurs, financiers. But in order for them to continue to live, they either had to say, I'm a Christian to survive, or flee. And many fled Spain and Portugal and came to what is called the West Indies and South America, namely Brazil. Now, if you study the slave trade, I don't want to labor on that so much, but in the Babylonian Talmud, did you know it was a rabbi that said that black people are cursed, black, doomed to be hewers of wood and drawers of water, because we are the children of Ham, that son of Noah that disrespected him? When you look at how black people are treated, no matter where we go in the world, that poison that we are somehow an inferior people, doomed to be hewers of wood and drawers of water of Caucasian people. And they teach this to their children. So when you meet them, you meet somebody who approaches you with a superior attitude. And unfortunately, we have responded by bowing and acting in a servitude-like manner. But you know, as I studied the migration of the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Dutch, the French to the Caribbean, it was slavery that enriched Europe. And no matter what branch of Europe colonized or enslaved us, the British took away our African names and gave us English names, right? And most of us carry those names today. True? True. None of us spoke or speak today the language of our country and culture. We speak English because the English captured us and gave us not only their language, but their religion.
Yes, sir.
And they bred into us the hatred that they have for other members of the family of Europe that they were always fighting against. So the British and the French never got along too well. The British and the Spaniards never got along too well. And so here we are, we the British representatives. Is a Christian because the French made him that. You see?
Yes, sir.
So now the Spanish, oh, let's go to Puerto Rico or to Cuba.
Yes, yes.
When Spain conquered, they did the same thing to the African. Take away your name, take away your language, take away your culture, give you their language, give you their religion, and impose upon you their mind.
Yes, sir.
So here we are in the Caribbean. we are so divided, not just between British or English-speaking West Indians, French-speaking, Dutch-speaking, Spanish-speaking, French-speaking. No, no, no. We are worse than that. When I was a little boy, I heard a calypso song that was written by a Trinidadian, a Calypsonian, long time ago. Small island, go back where you come from. Small island, go back where you come from. You come by the 1 and the 2 and the 3. Now I find you up inside me breadfruit tree. Small island, go back where you come from. Now look, he was talking about the Bajans. What am I saying, my dear family? We were not only divided by the languages and cultures of Europe, we began to be divided even by our islands. So Jamaica and Barbados and Trinidad and St. Lucia and Anguilla, all of the islands, they had some beef against somebody from another island. And in America, when West Indian people started coming, they couldn't hang out with their own islanders. They had to go to a church, and for the first time, people from all the islands learned each other, learned to live together, learned to work together, learned to plan together for the advancement of those from the West Indies. And it was in that environment that the languages of the Caribbean, the dialects of the Caribbean nurtured my life. So now when you look at the introduction of slavery in the West Indies, you find that the Europeans and also members of the Jewish people bought up all the land. So the land where we worked in the cane fields was owned by somebody else. So we were always the plantation workers, but rich white people were the plantation owners. And so they made the wealth from us, but we just barely survived. So now, the Caribbean gave to the world sugar, bananas, pineapple, rice, and coffee. And in Brazil, there was sugar, tobacco, cocoa, and cotton. And the whites were the masters of the production and marketing of all those things. And of course, the British, the French, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the Spanish, all controlled these territories at various times. But no matter which European nation controlled the land and the sea, it mainly was the Jewish merchants who controlled the profitable trade in the produce of the Caribbean and America. And so here we are today. This is 2011.
Me no know when we loggerhead Jamaicans are gonna wake up and say PMP and JLP is nothing good for the country. Nobody feel like say PMP are come make no changes. Me can't tell her that PMP them a come to do the same thing. Them a come to rob up the country, fat up them bank book, make sure so them pitney go through college and them live the best life. PMP and JLP is nothing good for the country. We need a different party to come in play. We really love Jamaican and love Jamaica for what it is. You can't, brother, sometimes you can look upon them politicians and a brother and see teeth in them face, you know. Man, know how you know see it, you know. You can just look upon them and see them as some guilty Jew. We come for rob everything for themselves. They just have this general look upon them. Now see how much big speech they make and tell you, oh, them a come to do this and do that. You can't see say,
behind closed doors, then sit down and laugh and say, me can't wait for get in, for come rob up the country. PMP, JLP, I see him.
I saw a video where the leader of the opposition was telling Jamaicans that if he is elected, he will free up beach access to all Jamaicans. So you can imagine my shock when I learned that the same Mark Golding sent a candidate into Portland that currently has control over the Boston Beach and is refusing to relinquish his control, going as far as taking the government to court to make sure the people of Boston and Portland do not have access. Hypocrisy at its finest. And then the candidate out by St. Thomas that is squatting on government lands. Squatting on government lands as a political representative is telling people that he has been ordained to lead. Ordained to lead what? And what group of people? Using what standard of life as an example? Because we expect our political leaders to lead by example, and surely squatting on government lands without remorse and encouraging other people to do that cannot be the standard that we expect to see. I'm curious to know what is the internal process that the PNP uses to select its candidates, because let me tell you, the bar is in hell with these guys, you know.
Welcome back. Hope you have watched and listened that message from Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan is the US minister, and Farrakhan has been an umbrella who has been supporting we as the African and black people for so long time, and he has championed for we as the black people. He was always in heart of African people and also the Jamaicans people. So Farrakhan has a message to Jamaica because Jamaica is nearing the election, and he has also a message to Andrew Holness, because we all know that African and Jamaica are friends, and the only things that divided we as Africa and Jamaicans is only the black white people, because white people, they has been dividing us through divide and rule this system, and it has really affected we as the black people. So Louis Farrakhan has come out and really say something about Jamaica PM to stop being a puppet to the white people, because the West countries normally want African country to be a puppet to them. They wanted a worship leader. They don't want a leader who can come out and really speak from his sense. So he's saying that in this time, Jamaican PM must now wake up and stand and stop being pulled by the white people. Because now when you go to Jamaica, Jamaica has been becoming a dustbin of all countries. Because now Chinese are being dominating the Jamaica. And dominating the Jamaica is not a problem, but Chinese came out with a policy that their citizens will not pay tax for more than 5 years. And that made some Jamaicans come out and really defending and saying, no, why are we that we Jamaica were paying tax and Chinese are not paying tax? So Farrakhan has come out and said to Prime Minister that you guys, you must stop humiliating the people of Jamaica, because the Jamaicans are really crying out for paying a lot of tax. They are crying out because corruption in Jamaica is so high, because in African culture most of leaders are being corrupt. So Farrakhan has come out and said that Prime Minister of Jamaica must respect their citizens and must listen to what they are saying, because corrupt people, all among the corrupt people are in government, and the Prime Minister are not doing anything. And that's why now Farrakhan is saying that Guys, you must be respected. You must respect the citizen. And another thing is Jamaica is nearing the election. And during election, we the citizen, we normally being tell the untrue about the election, because no leaders, they just want to come and start campaigning, and you find that we the citizen will just elect them in government, and then we start crying. So he has aspired that when the election comes, we must stop electing the party, because we as the African and the Jamaica, we normally look for the party. Let's elect the leader. Let's not elect the puppet leader, because when you look a party, we might elect a bad leader, and that is now what is happening, and what is now affecting a lot of the African country, a lot of now the Caribbean country is not growing because of electing the party. So he's saying that we must stop electing the party during this election and elect a leader, because revolution has started here in Africa, and Ibrahim Traore is just starting to showing us that not all parties are good, but we must elect a leader, because Jamaica is going to have election this year, and he has said to Jamaicans to elect a leader, because West countries normally want a leader who can be used as a puppet to them, a leader who can even control their resources, because our resources is being controlled by those West countries, and Farrakhan wants our resources to be controlled by ours. And that's why when now you go to United States, he said that United States normally in this Trump, they elected a party, and that's now why the United States are suffering. That's why the people are now crying in United States, because of electing a party but not a leader, because Trump is now punishing the citizens of Jamaica who was now living in the United States. We have seen the immigrant being deported, the farmers now crying United States, and that's why Farrakhan has come out and said, no, let's elect a leader but not a party, because party politics is a bad game, and that's why now we as Africa now suffering, because our leaders have been a puppet to those West countries. And let's learn from Ibrahim Traore, let's learn from the Niger and also Mali, because they are doing the same. Their resources are being benefiting their people. So kindly guys, as I conclude, let's follow what Louis Farrakhan has told us, that during this election, let's elect a leader but not a party. And for the Prime Minister, listen for the people of listen for your people. Let's stop corruption. Let's Chinese also pay the tax, but not giving them the credit. So kindly guys, for watching me for the first time, I'm your host Team Tasty Reaction. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, like, and also comment. Bye for now. See you next.